Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here. This is the summary video for the OpenTTD Steam is King. I almost forgot what we were doing. Yep, so every month or so, I'd say every 2 months, let's average it out. On the Megacycle Entertainment Discord server, I host an OpenTTD tournament. It's really straightforward. It's not anything super fancy. We play with vanilla OpenTTD with whatever version we like, and then under certain rules and conditions, we give it a go. You'll lose audio a couple times here because I'll be alt-tabbing in between things. But let's go ahead and get the rules up really quickly here. A lot of these tournaments are I'll call them bog standard. Like, a lot of the rules are very similar to how we do it. 512 by 512 map, 50,000 KUSD for the loan. This one was 1,500 trains, no boats, no aircraft, no trucks. And Steam is King. We start in the year 1945. We only get to use steam trains. That's it. There are some diesels that come out, but you can't use them. So only steam. How does everyone work with that? Maybe you build a lot of little junctions, little legs of the journey, or really big ones. Let's see what people do. So I've got a list of all the connections and all the servers here. I'm gonna go ahead and fire them up. Start up with 0. This is bogus, and you can see the password because it doesn't really matter. They get randomized, different length, different everything. So this is bogus. Command prompt delivering by your command. I like it. I should learn how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the company value, which is how this is moderated as. So I'm going to just jot this down here. 68.8 mil. Let's round up. Let's round up to 9. So the idea behind these tournaments is to get as much company value as you can in the allotted. We play for 20 years, and that's how that works. So, yeah, very streamlined. Much of this almost looks a lot like my run. Now that I'm really looking at it. Minor changes here and there, but looks very good. 101 trains is on the docket. All right. This is too early for a Monday morning. Okay, thank you. We have, yeah, a bunch of trains. It said 101. Looking real sharp, real sharp. Oh, there's the thanks, John. Hey, it took me a second to find it. There it is. I gotta switch. Someone told me, I forgot who, but I gotta switch it between map modes. Depending on how they lay it out. Like here. You can see it, but it's a little more difficult because a little obfuscated by whatever. But if you really want to see it, you gotta switch to the map modes. You can see the thanks, John. Anyway, coal, the power plant. Very straightforward. This looks like very straightforward play. Connect all the stuff, plug in all the things, right? Let's check out some of the larger junctions, though. This looks incredibly similar to what I have going on mine. Interesting. So the way in which Bogus did theirs, differently than how I personally did mine, is they have this 4 station where any train can go into anything. So instead of the way I did it was I only did 2x2s. This is a 4x2, I guess. 2 main lines splitting into 4 like that. Very straightforward, very good. Because of the nature of everything, you won't get any collisions. Because of all the sections. Now, this is something that's very well demonstrated here that I always am worried about. And worried might not be the right word, but I always have fear about sharing station space like this, that it might have collisions. So if these 3 guys are stuck, waiting to be dropped off, let's say, for example, other trains might not be able to come in and it causes a jam. Now, the signals will take care of that, right? Trains will just wait. But I'm always worried that they'll get to here to wait for this, and then it's like, well, this guy's got to move, and I'm always afraid of doing that, but I think this is well executed. Couple of waypoints, yep. Might be for the exact same reason. So, let's see here. I would say finished goods probably go out on top, or, oh no, it just splits off like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. So this is how you can get a bit more throughput. Leaving is easy and quick. So that merges very quickly into one very, very neatly. The coming in is what takes a while, and trains might have to wait a little bit, right? Think of it like a grocery store is maybe the easiest example. Is there's always lines to check out, right? There's always lines that you have to wait for the people to check out, because checking out is what takes forever. So getting into the station, the unloading is what takes forever. You're leaving with empty stuff here, so it takes no time to scoot and vamoose. So that's why it's easy to merge this early here on the way out, but when you come in, there's a bit of a loading situation here, right? I've been calling that a stacker for a while, and that's not quite correct for what this is, but you get the idea of what's going on here. So that's very well executed. I like that. It's very clean. A very similar station here, you can see. Maybe? Oh, no, this is just two separate runs completely coming in. Yep, but it's split to 3. That's also very well executed. Yeah, no qualms, no notes, no complaints, no nothing. We'll check a few more of the complex stations. So this is going out. Okay, this is interesting. So the way I use myself as an example, because that's the only thing I really know, right, is how I've been doing it. What I do is I cut it out 2 by 2 again, like I mentioned. But this looks very interesting. So one route coming in could utilize all 3 drop-offs and then leave, or what have you, pretty cleanly, without being much issue. So you've got larger stations that can be overutilized, right? And overutilized, I don't mean that as a negative thing, but you don't have 8 or 9 trains waiting on one leg, right? That's kind of the deal with that. Very well executed there. A little sawmill action here. Yep, very straightforward. Drop-offs, pickups. Yep. That all makes sense. Check a few more of these complex junctions here. Junctions also aren't the right word. It is early, and I'm slugging down coffee like it's nobody's business. So, there you go on that. Now, what's this guy going for? Oh, okay. It's just coal coming in, merging in. Yep. Right here is a neat thing. Might be a little hard to see, but what we've got here is this is a separate leg right here. Hold on, let me alt-tab, make sure my mouse is being picked up. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Right here, you can see this splits off, and this becomes 2 pieces and then 1 piece. This is completely fine, and this allows 80% of the line or whatever to be double utilized, or utilized more thoroughly. Again, dropping off is very quick. This part of the journey, they shouldn't be messing around too long. But that's a nice execution of that. Well done. Command prompt, solid work. Yet again, no complaints. Okay, so they got some goods routes coming over here. I also found farming to be pretty dope. I don't see any waiting goods, so that's pretty impressive. Stuff is moving, let's go ahead and check the shared tasks, shared orders. Sort by down. Yeah, number of vehicles is fine. I know some people really enjoy the shared orders view. You can kind of see, yep. What we have here is coal trains, or this is grain trains, coal trains. Okay, yep. I also found coal to be pretty darn profitable in my game. I can talk, trust me, I'm an adult. What's this guy doing? Red 101. Oh, I didn't even see that when we got in here because it was blocked. Right? Are there any other little snippets of... That's probably just a radar tower. It's one chunk of rail. Okay, that's fine. I feel like I'm on a scavenger hunt now. I'm gonna get a message from Bo Gus, who is the player of this one. They'd be like, "Were you able to find all 13 pieces of unused track?" Let's see how observant John is. Spoiler alert, not as much anymore. Not as much anymore. Okay. Command prompt. Delivering by your command. We got 68.9. Oh, now I get it. In the Discord, they were joking. They were like, man, I was $100,000 off. And I'm like, $100,000 of what? Who's that exacting? Who's that precise that they're $100,000? Oh, okay, yeah. So $150,000 I'll just say it like this. It would have been nice. It would have been nice. Okay, good stuff. Moving on. Moving on. Okay. Next is Cinder Elm Creek. Let's go ahead and get them fired up on the first server. Blurp. Pony Express Steam Edition. I like the name of that. That's good. Oh, let's get their numbers real quick. Pony Express Steam Edition for 82. 82. Let's call it 82.1. I've been rounding up. That seems fair. Pony Express Steam Edition. Played by Cinder Elm Creek. Oh, wow. Cinder had some time on their hands. Oh, thanks. Oh, my goodness. You guys are getting crazy with these. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's very sweet. Y'all are... Holy crap. What happened here? Now that is interesting. I like the little smile. Is there a little smile in there? Not quite as... Yeah, kind of. Okay, so what we have demonstrated here is during my run, I was like, you know what? I don't mess with town growth. I still don't really understand how it works. Not that big of a deal. And I think one of the comments I made was, it would be difficult to do it with trains anyhow. And I just didn't... I jumped into coal. Like, I didn't care, right? Here, though, is a very good demonstration of how you could get that to work with trains easily. Yeah, go nonstop, go nonstop, go nonstop. Let's see here. How to explain how this works and why this is important. Certain actions that you take every month, or throughout the month, the game will roll probability dice and say, does something positive, nothing, or negative occur? Really good example of that is when it comes to working with the industries. The industries will roll a certain way depending on some criteria. What's a good example? Let's find any industry. I'm noticing an architecture thing here. Is this an industry? Where are you getting? Oh wait, do you also do passengers? Oh, you do accept passengers. Interesting. I don't see any industry things at all, which is totally fine. That's not a negative. Okay, so let's just talk this out as if this were a thing. When a facility produces a product, let's say lumber here, the production every month rolls and it says, should I go up? Should I do nothing? Should I go down? Doing certain things can positively affect whether or not it rolls positively. So let's say asking for product more frequently is an example. When doing that, it also checks the age of the vehicle, the modernness of the vehicle. So even like a really new old vehicle is better than a really old vehicle. There's a bunch of stuff, but that's how you can get production into like 200, 300, 400, etc. The rules for towns are a little different, but similar. What you need are 5 stations, I think, and you have to change up 1 person to each of the stations per month. Now, it's really easy with trucks or buses. The infrastructure is already laid out. There's already a played out, the roads are already there. It's very simple. Throw down 1 or 2 stations, call it a day. When it comes down to trains, though, this is a little more complex. And what Cinder Elm Creek has done is they've placed this, and you can tell that this was early-ish game because the city has built to compensate. Right, so there's little areas you can kind of see where the city was like, well, I still need to grow. How do we do that? And what you end up with is fully saturated stations like this. 1,300, 1,500, 1,500. Dude, oh my god, a tenth of the town is sitting in this one station. It's like Sunday Mass or whatever. The entire town heading to one church, right? One place of worship. That's great. I love that. Okay, so very sophisticated work on that. What I noticed when I said before is like, oh, I'm noticing a pattern here. What you can notice is there's a lot of setup like this in other towns. So here's one for Larry. Same thing, right? It's looping all the way around, and it's preparing for city growth in that regard. So this is another example where I say, like, if we played 30 years and not just 20 years in game time, I think the ranking or the company value and stuff would be drastically different. Maybe the winner would still be the winner, but like the spread in between the players, I think with a setup like this where you have this, like this is keyed for growth, right? The city will build around it. With other smaller places like Joseph, it's a little hard to do this whole growth thing. And of course, you'd have to wait 30, 40 years or whatever for it to really pay off. But yeah, some of these other places. So here's another example where Cinder Elm Creek came in, built out their infrastructure, right? And then the city was like, well, I still need to grow. So you can kind of tell, almost like the rings of a tree, right? If you cut a tree, you can tell its age. You can also maybe see like events that have occurred. Like if there's a gap on one side, you'd be like, oh yeah, remember like 5 years ago we had that huge lightning storm and it cut a ton of trees? Well, here's some of the scar marking, and it grew that out or grew it over or whatever. So you can kind of tell just on someone's architecture what kind of a story it tells. So for Bogus, they had more complex in and outs, right, to handle more freight. Here we see a different kind of setup for for a different kind of volume. Still here, like here's Kelly ready to go, and you can see it's already growing out, right? It's growing out a little bit, which is nice. What else about this one? Stephanie got the royal treatment as well. All kinds of stuff going on here. A main drop off and then an internal circle, right? Very cleanly done. I wouldn't have the patience for it, honestly. All the changing of types, I think I'd just lose my mind. But this was very well executed. Oh, it's just the sign, okay. Yeah, very good. Shared orders. Let's take a look at that real quick. 5 mil, 1 mil, yeah. Good money can be made passenger style, for sure. For sure. And also, as I mentioned before, the really big benefit of passenger runs are you can get profit both ways, right? Both legs of the trip. One of the big issues, like if you're hauling freight for long distance, you're hauling actual freight for literally half of the journey, you're getting paid, then you're not getting paid the other half. And that becomes really painful if we talk about really high maintenance costs or breakdowns, you know, that kind of a thing. We don't do breakdowns here. It's very straightforward when it comes down to it. But okay, very good. Pony Express Steam Edition. Well done, well done. Next is going to be The Dude. Check them out on the third server, or second server, I should say. Okay, Steampunk. Steampunk is the name of the company, The Dude. Let's go to value right away. 772 million. Oh my word. 772.7 million. Holy crap. 256 trains. Okay. Let's take a look and see what they've got going on. My lord. Very large city growth. Very far hauling. I think we found proper competition for Cyberpsycho. I've been playing this game with Cyberpsycho for a long time. I'm trying to act that as a compliment. I'm trying to compliment. I'm never the insulty type, but Cyberpsycho's a very good player. Been keeping me on my toes for a very long time when I've been playing this game with them, and so it's good to see someone being able to keep them on their toes, because I cannot even. I can't even. Just as a quick reminder, all of my units are measured in USD. I play in USD. I could play in British Pound. I think it's GBP, I think is the way the game talks about it. And all it does is it's just double. It's just double everything. There's nothing super fancy about it. When it comes to pound for pound, if you really want to, literally pound for pound, if you want to convert anything that I've got going on here versus a different currency, I think the same with the euro. I think it's just double or something, just to keep things simple. Okay, let's take a look at everything that the dude has to offer. So I think I want to start a little bit backwards this time. Let's start with some shared orders. 21 million. This looks like cargo to me. Now, this is the first, yeah, goods. This is the first we've seen so far of the double trains. Now, I always forget you can do that. I don't know if that's just an old rule of old school TTD in my brain or whatever. It's like, yeah, you can't do that. But you can totally do that, as we see clearly right here. Very straightforward, very crisp. 21 mil, 11 mil, 10 mil, 8 mil, 7 mil. Very impressive. I have not gone through and taken apart the value versus the train. So, like, I should have taken that value, divided by 28, then we can go per train. But I don't really go that far. Lots of really big routes here. Big routes, very big stations. Yes, we've got probably 1 or 2 in here dedicated for drop-off, and the other one's dedicated for, yeah. So these are dedicated to drop-off. Drop-off, right? We have music? My goodness. Drop-off, drop-off, drop-off. Here's your goods run, and this is kind of what I want to look at. This is a circle. Massive trains. Absolutely massive trains. I would argue that Steam was not at all a problem for the dude. That wasn't even like a challenge, right? I'm very confident that was just a, yeah, whatever. So this drops off here in Sean. And then leaves again to Sean West. And then eventually links back. Yep, that goes all the way back. So how does this work? What is this full of? Goods, right? Yep, goods. So this is dropping off. Huh. Oh, I get it. Okay. So this is dropping off goods here. This is picking up goods here, right? From Sean West. Yeah, where are you going? Avatonamona Annex. Which is this one. Okay, so remember what I literally just got done saying about everyone's playstyle. One of the things that's really important is when it comes to passengers, you get paid both ways, right? Here, the dude actually went through and crafted a logistics system that they could be paid both ways. A cargo train is going to be full, let's say 98% of the time, right? You pick up here, you go all the way to one side of the map, drop off, pick up again, all the way to the other side of the map, drop off. This is very impressive. Now these are what? Passenger cars, I'm sure? Oh, bags of mail. Right. Probably doing a very similar thing. So this is how you get the train value, right? The route value and everything maximized as much as possible, as you try to use the same train as much as you possibly can. Now that can become really dangerous. If you take that just as a blanket statement, one might think, well, I just got to have a train make all the routes, and that way that one train is maximized. That's true. That would work, but there's a lot of things that go with that. One of the things to mention is commodity degradation, or what is it called? Commodity valuation, payment rates. The game takes payments into consideration based on distance traveled, the time it takes, and how much. Effectively, those are like the 3 easy things. Like if you had to explain TTD to a new person completely, how do you explain it? How much are you carrying? How far are you carrying it? How fast did you carry it? Boom, done, no problem. So cargo that sits too long becomes less and less and less valuable. Now you might be laughing about that. You'd be like, "Hey, John, that's kind of dumb. Coal doesn't go bad, does it? Like, does coal go? Oh, now it's soured because somebody put cream cheese on it or something. Is that how it works? No, not at all. But to keep the game, it's a transportation game. You got to keep it going. So it's very important that you pick up, you deliver, and drop off as quickly as you can, as much as you can. Right? That's kind of the name of the game. So when it really comes down to this, same deal as we got going on here. This has all those problems solved. That's how the dude got the high valuation of the trains. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. Also, very strong town growth as well. It looks like they took a much more simplistic approach, and that's not a bad thing. Simple's not bad. Simple's functional, simple works. So instead of doing what Cinder Elm Creek did with the loop around, right? Which is how most major cities work, right? Like a transit line, a metro line has to service the entire area, right? Kind of a thing. This is a very simple way to get the city beefed up. I'm going to probably steal that. Don't tell the dude. I don't think they watch my videos anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, that's one of the fun things about doing stuff like this is you learn from other players, right? There's a lot I've learned from... oh gosh, I think I've learned a little bit of everything from everyone, literally. And now the thing is, I've been playing this game so much with a lot of these folks, it's really hard for me to look at a thing like, oh yeah, that's specifically from person anymore. But there's a lot I've learned, for sure. For sure. What else we got going on here? Coal runs. I was like, this is a very large transfer station, maybe. So here, let's just follow some of the lines. Oh, there's the power plant. Yep. Man, a real understanding of depth, I think, is where this player is at. I don't have this level of depth. I'll own it. I'm a real simple. I'm a chatty, simple guy. I get to chatting, and I'm like, yeah, do the thing, push the thing, hit the thing. 466. Yeah, that's what I was wondering if there were some really high numbers. 109, not so much. 367. Now those are big numbers for me. I think I've seen, at least in FIRS, F-I-R-S, you can really get the numbers really stupidly high. Like really, really unnecessarily high. Because what you can do with that is you can actually supplement production lines with, what are they called? Engineering goods or engineering tools or something. And depending on how many engineering tools you deliver every month, they get a boost to production. So like there you can have to deal with like 2,000, 3,000 amounts of goods. And it becomes insane. It becomes absolutely insane. So, anyway, without coming at this too much like a scalpel, I think a very clean run. I think that one goods thing, if I had to attribute one thing to victory, I think that double goods run was really smart. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Very well played, the dude. We checked their value, which is insane. Yeah, very good. Lots of good stuff can get learned from this. And also, another thing is, well after, or when the tournament ends, what we also do is we open up the servers to everyone. And it's like, go in, poke around, see what's what, right? By the time this gets released, everything will be shut down and everything. So, like I said, I don't care showing the passwords. It's fine. It's really not a big deal at all. Because there'll be new passwords by the time this gets out anyway. For Cyber Psychotic Transport, we have 319.8 mil. I'm not going to round up. That's too close to the 8. Still, that's an incredible amount of money. Oh, there's a thanks, John. Boop. Saw that right. Oh, wow. THANKS. That's very cute. Y'all put a lot of time into this. Oh, I need to see this little train do things. Let's just join the company real quick. I already have the money value. Nothing's going to change. Oh, that's cute. Is it... Has too few orders. Oh, I'm sure it's a very frustrated loco. It's a very frustrated loco. Okay, let's just get back to spectate. All right, that. Oh my, oh my! What a cute little, you know, in community meme, right? Like I never asked someone to do the thanks, John. I think it was Cyber Psycho who did it first, maybe. I think it might have been, or it might have been. I don't even remember. I'll have to look back at the footage. I don't even remember how it started. Anyway, let's talk about Cyber Psycho. Still very good city growth. Oh, they use trucks. Oh no. 26 road vehicles. Cyber Psycho, no. Ah, shucks. Okay. So let's do a little bit of a disclaimer here. I didn't know if this was going to happen, but let's talk it out. So when I originally wrote up the tournament, and I alt-tabbed so I can get the verbiage exactly. Let's see here. Two things happened. One is I said you're only allowed to use steam trains. which after 2 weeks after the tournament started, someone came to me and said, what, I can use anything else, but I can only use steam trains. And I'm like, yes, you can only use steam trains. And they said, well, hang on. I can only use steam trains? And I'm like, I don't understand. Maybe I'm dumb. I don't understand what the problem is. And what immediately came to light after we were having that conversation was, when I said you can only use steam trains, someone else said, yeah, but I'll use like trucks and buses and crap, but only steam trains. And I'm like, no. Only steam trains means you can't use anything else. So the thing is, it took me too long to get that nailed down to the point that it mattered. So realistically, I'm not going to be super hurt about the buses and stuff. Yeah, see, this is a no-no. But this is one change. I'm going to leave it up to the community. We'll discuss it. But realistically, it looks like at this juncture, the dude has won anyhow. And this would not have made enough of a significant difference for it to have mattered. So that's my 2 cents. Am I disqualifying Cyberpsycho? No, I don't really think so. If they had, like, crap tons of boats and aircraft, then I'd be like, okay, you didn't even try to follow the thing. But that's kind of the thing, right? That makes it a little difficult. I think I'm going to own that. I did not convey it very well, but it's okay. We'll leave it to the community to decide, but Cyberpsycho still has a very strong second place. I didn't do a good job explaining it. There's that. So let's take a look at some of the more... Oh, let's do train routes first. 6 mil, 5 mil, around that, yeah, around the 25 mark. Yeah, that's a lot of good, consistent money. Blew my score out of the water, for sure. For sure. No, very impressive. I like that. Let's go and take a look here. Lots of good, yeah, this is grain, livestock, and goods. Now what I want to find is the goods train. Your livestock, your grain. Also, again, very large trains, right? Cyberpsycho looks like they... 3 trains. Yeah, these players didn't have any real qualms about how this worked. I didn't actually check Command Prompt or Cinder Elm Creek for if they used 2 or 3 locos or not. I didn't. I'll just own it. I super did not. Okay, what I would like to see are the good routes. The goods routes. Same place, Avatoma West. Right there. And then here's another example of like town growth, right? You can see where Cyberpsycho built out their rails, and the city's like, well, I still need to expand. Gimme, right? And that's where that turned into that. So still very good progress there. Absolutely. It's like all the complicated junctions. It never crosses my mind to use tunnels. But there's always a nice display of tunnel work. Now this is interesting. The different station setups. Stations only really need to be as long as the trains. If trains are longer than the station, it takes ages for a train to unload. Ages. It's awful, painful, terrible. So make sure that your stations are as long as your trains, and then it's not a problem. So, that being said, another reason for this looking like this is when it comes to the configs. Hold on. Is it settings? Length? Maximum length of train? No, is it station? Station. Maximum station spread. So this shows how much of a gap there can be in between all the stations. So keeping it kind of lean makes sense. This is a massive train, my guy. Nico Woods, is it producing that much Scribble Scrabble? No, it isn't. So that tells me right away this is a junction, or not a junction, but like a feeder. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 are getting fed into Nika, and then Nika is going out, right? That makes perfect sense. Yep. This helps a lot of the stations asking more frequently, hey, are you full? Hey, are you full? Hey, are you full? And what this also means is you have less trains on the system, You don't have 30 trains or whatever going all the way up to Joseph. Where'd we go? Joseph, there we go. I knew it was the name of the station. But this works out pretty well. This works out pretty well. I like it. I've done the same thing with my builds. I like it very much. Now, just a bit of an observation. The factory here is missing for Cyberpsycho. So where did they haul? Oh, they came all the way down to Nadia. I bet you they came to here is a junction. And then you got gigantic trains. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. This is very akin to how regular logistics works in normal real world, right? Smaller routes, smaller trains like this. Not nearly as massive. Wait until full, drop off, and then the big transfer, right? Very well done. Very well executed. Very well done. Let's see if there's anything else here real quick. Yep, lots of strong growth here. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to comment. Very well done, Cyberpsycho. Boop. Next is JMegs. I'm gonna go pretty quick with mine. You've seen how I do. There's nothing super fancy. You see how I do. John T. Megacycle. Oop, Hiccups Transport. I walked out of there with, holy crap, I beat Cyberpsycho. Woo! Holy shoot. I don't remember having that much money. I thought I had like 280 million. Oh, it's been a while since I've done my run, I guess. Holy crap. I'm having wine in a box tonight. I guess I will spend 10 seconds to go over myself. So I did a couple of long routes. The ones in real particular are this one, bringing a lot of goods and products. I got a couple of feeder stations. Let's see here. Grace Transfer was my feeder station. I wish I went bigger trains. I went more smaller guys. So you can see my... Excuse me. Yeah, the thing is, I know other players outperformed me because I had... Well, actually, in... how do I start? Let's start over. I have way more trains that are smaller, whereas other players have way fewer trains that are bigger. It's up to whomever's methodology. Really, I'm not smart enough to really argue. Oh, big train's best all the time. Good time, have some. I'm not that smart. But there's a couple of cheeky things I did. So here's Edward Woods, and I built 2 stations to junction both these coal mines. So that's a little cute. My starting position was some passenger stuff. Avarita, I don't know, to Jeremy. And I think I did Carolyn to Veronica to Stephanie for passenger routes. Where's my big... I have a big coal junction. I think it's right here. Oh, here's one of them. Donald Mines, that's one right here. This is where I pulled like 8 or 9 coal things together and got it going. My production is not that great. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I'm not pulling tons of fun money. 208, 288. I'm pretty happy with some of those numbers. I also did a similar thing with iron ore. You can see right here. All the, yeah, there you go. Both these link up to from there to there, from there to there. This links up, and then this shoots over to a factory. That factory is... Or that steel mill. The steel mill is here, all the way in Larry. And then the steel goes to... is it this factory? And then the goods go somewhere else entirely. Oh, they get hooked into the mains, and they go all the way to... Also where I dropped off the goods. Yep. I did not do nearly as well of a job when it came to production of peoples and stuff, and building it out and making it sophisticated, but it worked out really well. Yeah, and the other real one I had was lumber. Again, I kept it very similar, as you can see in my thing. I did not go any farther than, like, I think 1/8, I think, when we got to the, what's it called? What is the name of this thing? Oh, the SH8P, yeah. When we got there, that's about where I was like, you know what, 8 is fine. So yeah, real simple for my run. Nothing really cool or fancy to show off. This was just a mad scramble. You can see there's a couple of junctions and stuff and places where I tried to hook in things and just get stuff moving. It worked out really well. The goods and the food. Food can make, livestock and grain can make a terrific amount of goods. So there's that one. Goody Two Shoes is next. Let's take, oop. They are not the password. Okay, let's just start over. Okay, let's take a gander. Fish Pickles Company. Fish Pickles Co. I like it. Fish Pickles Co. is worth 100. 76.56 million. A bunch of road pieces, but no vehicles. That's interesting. That's interesting. We'll have to take a look and see what that's all about. Anyway, very straightforward stuff. Moving around. Yeah. Very, very clean, very neat. Now this is the straightest line I think I've ever seen. It just goes all the wood. Just goes all the way. Yeah, very cool. Okay. Very straightforward. Absolutely. Pax. Passenger. Right? I.O. What are you hauling? Iron ore? Okay. So there must be something else picking up iron ore. Oh, no, right there. Iron ore. Yep. I didn't even notice. So this is probably dropping off steel? Or picking up steel. This is picking up steel. It's going to do Sean Woods. And then we just do this. I want to see... Oh, no goods deliveries. Okay, just dropping off the steel. Alright, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Still some really good city growth. I'm curious about the signage. Oh, so signs out here, what they do is they prevent the city from growing. There's a reason for that. I think whenever the city rolls dice to figure out how to grow or whatever, by doing this you're forcing it to grow up instead of wide, I think. I don't know all the logic behind it, but there's some reasoning for that. I'm not too sure what it is. Yeah, very strong growth, and we can see the population growth right here. Just run stuff all the way around. Now, I'm still... Oh, this is just to extend the station. Yeah, this is still Katya Station. There's your coverage, right? So that makes sense. Using bus stations like that is not a big deal. I blew up a road and I made a rail station for mine. That's kind of how I did that. I'm still not sure where in the heck 511 road pieces would have gone. What you could have done... Another thing that could have been with it, because I don't see like buses or anything. Like, this isn't an accusation. Like, I use buses. What you could do is you could pre-build the city. And I could see that being a thing. So one of the things you could do is you could build out the road infrastructure for the city, and then it doesn't have to do that on its own. There's also more logic behind that I don't fully understand. But that is something that can be done. I've seen some players do it. Again, I'm not smart enough whether or not that's the to be true method. And it's like, oh yeah, well, they can either build a road or they can build a skyscraper. And so just make sure that they're building skyscrapers every turn, right? By building the road for them. So I could totally see that being a thing. Yeah. Very impressive. Let's check shared orders. Passenger was their biggest moneymaker for sure. I do see some double train, yep. I really have to remember that that's a game mechanic. I keep forgetting that's a thing. Realistically, yeah. Very straight, very clean. Yeah, this system is very simple to understand. Coal to coal, then coal to power, probably up there. If I had to take a swing. We'll just take a look at you. Yep. So a lot of stuff is coming here. It makes that very, very functional. 2 varies. That's how you know I'm serious. Very, very functional. Here's a situation where I think we saw this on the other ones too, where the farm and the managed forest is just being swallowed by the town. Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay. I don't really have any other notes for anything or whatever. This was a very clean one. The Steam is King tournament was the name of this one. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it. So let's go over. Let's see here. Let me get all the scores tilly-tallied together. I was just jotting them down in my book, so I don't have them at the ready. Let's see here. The Dude is first place, 772.7 million. Congratulations, The Dude, for taking this one. JohnMegacycle in second place, thank you very much, for 357.35 million. Thank you very much. Cyberpsycho in third place for 319.8 million. Well done. Well done. Goody Two Shoes, 176.56 million. Well done. Let's see, Cinder Elm Creek at 82.1 million. Well played. And Bo Gus at 68.9 million. So close, but I'll give it to you. Nice. That concludes this one. Thank you, everyone, for attending. As always, feel free to reach out to the Megacycle Entertainment Discord server. It's in the notes in the description below. Feel free to join if you'd like to partake in the next tournament that we have. These little things are a lot of fun. Or if you just want to meet some new friends. We have regular events going on, little tournaments, little matches and stuff, and it's a good place to meet some cool people. So, thanks for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.